fixing to get a couple of sanders and some 120. But I got some good sanders right here. I'm gonna be using the flat disc. We got one DA sander, and then we got an electrical orbital sander. And Willie will use it, and Ram will use the DA sander. So let's get it sanded. We know we have to flip the boat over and do the entire bottom first before we can do the top. But when we flip it back over, we want to make sure the inside is ready to go. So we're going to get it all the way prepped and ready now, getting it all sanded up. We're also going to go ahead and do the aluminum wash and have the inside ready to go. So when we flip it over, all we got to do is a quick wipe with acetone and ready to paint. 'Cause I just need a helping hand. It's gonna help me stand. It's gonna help me stand. 'Cause I just need a helping hand. It's gonna help me stand. Now we're fixing to paint it, and what we've already done is sanded every square inch of this thing with a DA sander and 120 grit sandpaper. And then after we sanded it, we then use some aluminum wash. We use Tomb Bright, which is kind of like, I think it's got some kind of acid reaction or something that takes place, and it makes it look almost white, but it takes off all the oxidation. And so we've got that. And now we're fixing to rub it down with some acetone real quick. And of course it flashes off really fast. And then we're gonna spray it with some Real Foot custom camo, dark brown. That's gonna be our base layer for this Sitka marsh pattern. And we're gonna get this base layer on today. And then tomorrow we're gonna start on the using the stencils and getting the camo laid out. All right, it's camo day for the boat. You guys saw me lay down the base coat, and we used that Real Foot custom camo. Now we've got some shake cans to be able to do the camo job. So you want to make sure your base coat's legit, that it's gonna stick really good, and then pretty much anything sticks to this stuff. Let me show you the pattern that I've worked up. So I practiced a couple different things. What we want is like Sitka optifade marsh. So nobody really sells stencils for optifade marsh. But this right here is really close. So this is a Sitka hat, and you see this optifade marsh, and this is just kind of like a blown up version of this. So maybe if I hold it like further away, you can see it looks pretty close, pretty much the same. So basically what you need is some stencils. So we cut some stencils out. We ordered some stencils. I ordered some stencils from Red Leg. So what I got from Red Leg are these two Mylar pieces here. That is like a big hex pattern, and then some like cryptic camo patterns, stuff like that. And then I've got a vinyl cutter, so I ordered some Mylar and kind of design my own patterns that will go with this. And like I made some hex patterns as well, a little smaller, some of them kind of distorted. So we're gonna use the big hex pattern for most of it, and then we're gonna use my smaller hex patterns for some of it. And then I made some more cryptic patterns too that are similar to those, but again, they're smaller. So it's just gonna give us a little bit more detail, and hopefully it's gonna look a lot like this. All right, now let me show you the colors I've got. So this right here and this right here are kind of like the base layers. We're gonna spray that on the most, or not the base, the base is the dark brown that's on the boat. These right here are gonna go over that hex pattern. So we're gonna put the hex on, hit it with this. This is like a light tan. This is kind of like a medium tan. Okay, I don't know how to explain it, but you can see one of them says satin nutmeg, one of them says satin fossil. So if you're gonna use these, that's the colors that I'm using. And then on the next pattern, the cryptic camo, we're gonna use 3 different colors. So we've got like a brown, I would call it some type of a rust. Okay, you just need like a rusty brown, which is kind of like this color right here. And then you're gonna need a gold color. Now, what we've got, it says brilliant metal finish, but we sprayed it over there and it's not shiny, okay? So I didn't want something shiny. It's kind of a flat, goldish looking color. And that's gonna be a lot of this, okay? But we're just gonna hit it on a few of those places. And then you're gonna need some type of like flat black or really, really dark brown. And what I've got is this dark walnut. So that's what we're gonna use for the really dark colors like this right here, this. So those are the colors that I'm using, and it turns out really good. I'll show you the practice piece I did. That's what we're shooting for on the boat. So I've got Ram and I've got Willie. Willie's gonna be my can shaker. Ram's gonna be the stencil holder. And I'm gonna be the sprayer. So we're fixing to lay down this first layer with the hex, let it dry, and then hit it with the other. One more thing before we get going. I've got a bucket here. See it, like just a tub. And then I've got some acetone. And I'm gonna put a little bit of acetone in that bucket, keep it covered so it don't evaporate so fast. But then after we spray it, like we might hit it 2 or 3 times per stencil, but then we're gonna put it in here and wash it off. Hopefully it's gonna work well. And use a different stencil and just keep it going, keep it rotated. So that's the goal. Now let's get to we got both sides done, and the next step, this is what makes it look like Sitka, is or what makes it look even more like Sitka, I guess, is you take the small ones that you cut. So I cut some of these. You could just order some small ones, I guess, but Red Leg sends you the big ones, like big hex pattern, and that's what we laid down first, doing alternating colors, of course, like you saw. But then you take this and you just hit like where you did your alternating colors. You take the smaller one and you do the opposite right on top, kind of light, just here and there. Okay, so the smaller hex on top. Next step, we're going to use like the little cryptic patterns, and we're going to spray 3 different colors on that. We're going to spray like a dark walnut, we're going to spray like a gold color, and we're going to spray a rust. Okay, so all these colors on this hat, we tried to match them. Took the hat to the store the other day and tried to match the colors to the cap. So that's what we're gonna do. Take the cryptic and do that. Now Red Leg sends you this big sheet of Mylar stencil, and it's got like a big long cryptic on one side and then 2 kind of smaller ones, and it's just, you're supposed to just put it on there, and it's designed in such a way that it looks nice and random the whole way down. So what we did is we kind of looked at those, and then we designed us a few that are smaller than that. So we're gonna try to use the Red Leg one to get the main pattern on, and then we're gonna come back with the little ones we did and probably use it for our darkest color to kind of hit a few little spots. And that'll be like, when you're doing this, you're gonna have some drips and runs. There's just no way around it. And we'll take those little ones that we made we'll be able to put those like over those drips and runs and bad spots and hit it with that, and it'll cover it right up. You'll never see it. There it is now. This is layer 2, right? So we got base coat is layer 1. Layer 2 is the light tan and the brown tan, and then now the last layer, the cryptic. Think so? All right, we got the red leg put on there. So if you ever want to do like a wraith or wrath, whatever they call it, you know, they tell you what colors to use to make like, it's almost like optifade timber. But if you want optifade marsh, you gotta do it like this. So if we were using just the wraith, then it would be done. You can see behind me, I mean, we've got, oh dang, we forgot to do the back. We'll get it in a minute though with the little ones. But we got all around the sides. I mean, you can see this thing looks sweet, but what we're gonna do now, which is what makes it look really close to optifade marsh, is I've got some like cryptic things that I've cut that are real small. So, give me that one, Willie. So you can see like right here, these little things are a lot smaller than what red leg is. So it's a little different pattern too. And we're just gonna put these in different places and do the same thing, except we're gonna fill in kind of some of the gaps where the other one didn't hit. So like maybe right here where there's not much other color, we're gonna fill that in, and over here, and we're probably gonna stick to more of the darker colors for this, and like rust and black. We'll see how that works. But little ones, the last thing. And here is a look at the finished product of the outside. I don't think this boat could have turned out any better. Of course, you could always put a clear coat. I'm just going to go with it like this for a while. And if I need to come back and touch up some places, it's camo. It's all right. But I love the way it turned out. These red leg stencils with these colors is almost a perfect match to that optifade marsh. All right, so we had some strong guys come over and help us flip this thing back over, get it back on the trailer where it's gonna be until we launch it. So here we are spraying the inside with that same base coat of Reelfoot custom camo. This paint is really good. I recommend it 100%. Sprays well, sticks well. It's got the etcher and the primer and the top coat all in one. So you spray one and you're done. It's really good. Make sure you get the prep right and you're good to go. We made sure to take our time and spray everywhere that there wasn't going to be foam. And then we used our same stencils that we used on the outside. We used the same colors that we used on the outside, and we used the same pattern as the outside. If you want to get a more detailed look at me doing this same process, I'm going to put a video up of me doing this on a cooler that's going in the boat so that it matches. But you're going to see every step along the way, and it'll just help you out. But here, let me show you where we are as of the end of this video. All the paint's done. Next time, we're going to work on the hydroturf, the wiring, and the rigging. Remember, don't forget to like and subscribe. Hope you guys stick around for the next video. We'll see you next time.